Well, hey guys, this is Annie Noodle, and when I recorded this, it was the beginning of summer, and so we had things like inchworms and sunlight through the trees as I went through hikes. The last few days, it's been unbelievably oppressively hot. Oh, look at this little tiny baby
grasshopper.
Yeah, we're just gonna pause here for a second and watch.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
Okay, so back to serious business. Yeah, so the weather like took a total 180 in the last day. It's gloriously nice out now. And so I thought, since it was so nice out, I would spend the day doing my day job at my desk and then the evening editing a video at my other desk. So, but it is really nice out. I should probably at least try to get outside for a walk. Part of the problem is that it is the week before I leave for a trip, so I've been crazy busy. Let's talk about art. So this was my set of Ko-fi stuff that I did for May. So I mailed it out in June. And I wanted to specifically do a video about all of the parts that I did of this, because when you look at them, you can see that they're a set, and I feel like some people might be like, but how do you think of what you want to make a set out of? And honestly, I start with the main, for my Ko-fi things, I start with the main image, which is this one. And I'm having a blast splashing around with my watercolors, if you can't tell. That's my favorite thing to do with watercolors is drip one color into another color and watch what happens. Yeah, so, but basically I start with the main image and I figure out what I'm going to do for that, which clearly this is a spring sheep, which has a lot of animals that just kind of cruise around in the sheep's wool. So that's fine, And so when I was doing the other pieces of this, I wanted them, like I said, to, when you look at them, to be able to go, yes, that is clearly a set, but maybe not be super obvious about it. There's no reason why I couldn't have just made a sticker of this sheep exactly the way it was, but that is not what I felt like doing. So, and you will see that later. So I'm always trying to think of ways that I can make an interesting trio of items. And I feel like this month specifically, I was very happy with the 3 things that I ended up making for my Ko-fi people. Yeah, so this one is the Sheep of Spring. And yeah, I just wanted something that felt summery, but it wasn't really obvious. Yeah, I was like, oh, I could do, spring flowers, or I don't know. The hardest thing is honestly sometimes just thinking of this initial painting that's the main piece, because I just don't want to make boring things. I don't want to make the same thing every month. How hard would it be for me to just make cat stuff every month? Not very hard. But I do I want to try to put some variation in there. I don't want to just do a dragon every month. I will say this is some of my favorite footage in this whole video is just putting the water down before I put the sky color in. Just tracing around the clouds with my brush with water. Yeah, love doing that. And the inspiration for this actually came from, here's Alan's kitty. She gets to be my guest star today. Her name's Vega. She's adorable. Sometimes when we're playing games at Alan's house, she'll come up behind you when you're sitting on the chair and just kind of daintily claw the snot out of you because she wants your attention. I love her. If you look in the upper right of the frame right now, you will see a cute little ceramic ghost. And I got that in Pennsylvania last fall. And one of these days, I'm going to do an actual update to like my art in my studio tour, because I haven't done one for a while. There's just a couple more things that I want to hang up and maybe do some reorganizing, because honestly I would trip trying to get to some things in here right now. But yeah, so I got that in Pennsylvania last fall, and I've been just like super excited to share it with you, and a couple other things. Like I have something that one of my friends made me that I'm like, I want to put that in a video, and I have had that for like a year now, I think, and yeah, I just haven't gotten to it. Yeah, which isn't surprising because I keep meaning to do videos like twice a month and it keeps not happening. Here I'm painting a bunny, little bunny feet, little bunny toe beans. So this part with the tree, I just want you to know, I sped this up a lot. I do not paint this fast. These little tiny thin lines. They were really fun to paint though. And I really like how this painting turned out. I like that it's got kind of a graphic quality. I really like that. I especially like Ivan Earl, and I saw his works for the first time when I went to see the Del Toro exhibit. Del Toro really likes him and had some of his paintings like in his like collection of Del Toro-iness. And I just like, I saw them and I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. And I've always kind of like more of a graphic, especially like when it's mixed, like the background is more graphic and then the foreground is a little bit more, I don't want to say illustrative or pictorial or something like that. You guys know what I mean, right? Anyways, so if you've never heard of that artist, go check him out. His landscapes are gorgeous and so just dramatic, and like, yeah, they always remind me of driving through the countryside in California where the hills are really rolling and there's like kind of stripes of different colors, and then there's these like round little trees. Yeah. The funny thing is I used to do drawings that kind of remind me of his stuff too when I was younger. I mean, obviously a lot more simple and, not as technically good, but I did a lot of drawings where I had just very big stripes of color, and then like my trees were circles with like branches coming up through them. Yeah. Someday I'd like to do a quilt like that. I think about that every once in a while when I like to pretend that I'm going to have time to do anything ever. So yeah, now I'm painting this cat that looks suspiciously like my tiny cat. And this is where I'm trying to figure out where to put her tail. The real life tiny cat has a very, very short tail. I don't know why. There's nothing wrong with her. It's just her tail's really short. Like noticeably shorter than other cats. She's currently hunting a fly in my studio. Yeah, so like you go down to like, like when you pet down a cat's back and then you like come up on the tail, like you come up on the tail and the tail's gone like really soon. Here she is, my model. Isn't she adorable? Look at how stumpy that tail is though. She's so cute though. Yeah. So here we are doing more painting. I really like the way that those greens and yellows turned out in the foreground there. So in this, what I'm doing there is adding in some shading so that it looks like it's part of... I'm sorry, I keep like getting interrupted by my cats making weird noises. Yeah, so I did some shading so it looks like these little critters are actually in the sheep's wool and not just like stuck on there by an artist. The snake might be my favorite part because of the little hat. Love the little hat. Yeah. Anyways, I do love all of the critters of the sheep, but the hat on the snake really just, and the little ribbon and the little snaky's blue eyes and this little teeny tongue, so cute. Okay. Okay, and so what I'm doing here is adding in some like really, really light shades of green and yellow just to like pull everything together, because I didn't want the sheep to like be so not a part of this painting. I wanted the sheep to be like, oh, very subtle greens and yellows from the background, because I'm like a professional artist and I can do that, and I definitely yep, definitely remember to do stuff like that all the time, and it's definitely not hit or miss, definitely. Oh my goodness. So these are my Derwent Light Fast colored pencils, and they made me so angry. Like, I don't remember them being such a giant problem, but they would break over and over and over and over again, and I don't know. Like, the colors that I'm using specifically were the worst, of course, but like I'd say 3 out of the 4 colors that I used, like, just I could not keep them sharp because they break, and I'm not pushing hard here. I'm actually trying really hard to not push hard because it keeps breaking. Yeah. And yeah, I'll show you later how much they broke just from this like one painting, really. So here I am making a puddle underneath the sheepy so that I can make a shadow and then pull grass out of it, which is also one of my favorite things to do with watercolor, where you just make a puddle and then you draw little lines out of it and it looks like little happy grass. Yeah, it makes me happy to do that. See, look at how cute that is. And it's just so fun. I don't know. Maybe I am easily amused. And then I went back in with a darker green to make like a darker part of the shadow, just to, just because I can, because I like it when things have layers. It's fun. Also, I've already brought, like I said, this is from like a month ago. So I already brought this to a couple events with me, and people really like it, which makes me really happy. Yeah, I mean, we are Midwesterners here, so I guess farm animals, yay, but I think it has a good vibe, so I think people are gonna like it. And now it's done, and I'm peeling the tape off. I hate it when I peel tape off and I can see the pencil lines. Know what else I can see? Toe beans. Oh my goodness, she's so adorable. That's her fee for being my model. I have to pet her. So, this cute little gnome I'm including him because there's a little gnome on the sheep, right? So, that is how I ended up. I was like, what can I include that would make sense to include, right? In my set for the month, I wanted a print and 2 stickers, and I didn't want either one of the stickers to just be a direct copy of what was in the print. And some months they are, like, and there's nothing wrong with that, but this month I felt like doing something extra, and so we went with this little gnome, and I struggled to figure out what I wanted to do with him for the longest time. For a while, he was just like a gnome wearing like usual gnome clothes, and he had like a sheep that was like floating next to him on a balloon string, which is cute, and then I got this idea that he could be in his jammies and have a cuddly little sheep friend that he liked to sleep with. And yeah, I definitely think that this is the better choice. As much as I think people would have enjoyed gnome with a sheep, floaty sheep. I feel like more people understand sleepy gnome in pajamas. Yeah. I think I might be using ultramarine to paint him. And if you watch me, I am doing this like in the worst way possible. Because the spaces in between the clouds are so little, I didn't want to get his I didn't want to wet him first before I painted. I just kind of went in dry. But it kind of means that you have to keep a wet edge, otherwise you get weird lines and marks if you let your paint dry. And I'm not super great about doing that right. So it's definitely not a uniform color, which, I mean, you know, half the time with watercolor, I don't get that anyways, because I don't really try. Look at his little cheeks. So cute. I did not leave them that pronounced. That would have been a little bit extra, but I thought about it. And then I went in and I painted the sheep's face, and it took me forever and ever and ever. So we're just going to watch this whole process of me painting this sheep's face with browny black. It's very interesting, don't you think? It's good to just take a breath and watch some lady paint a sheep face. Oh, I'm still going, huh? This is why I said, like, I really didn't get it wet first, so, like, it's not really great to do it this way, because it can damage your paper. Like, you should let your paint dry. Don't be Annie. And we're done. Okay. So then oh, yeah. Oh, look, it already broke once. Yep. And it has to be sharp because I'm making really small lines. So I can't just like, oh, let it be a little duller than that, and then it like won't break as much. First of all, that is a lie. It breaks just as much if it's not this sharp. Yay, it broke again. Yeah. And then it breaks, and then it makes these huge lines, and I'm like, oh, it's so frustrating, and I kept sharpening it, and yeah. Anyways. Oh, I don't think we're done, are we? No, we're not. Oh, yeah. Broke again. See? It wasn't even that sharp that time, and it just kept breaking. And now, see, look at this. Do you see how more often I have to sharpen that one than the other one? Because it's so soft or something. I don't know. I got annoyed enough that I started looking up. Yeah, see, it's breaking again. Different pencil breaking. I got annoyed enough that I started looking up if other people were having this problem, or if it was just me with their Derwent Light Fast pencils. I didn't really see anything, so I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I don't know how to do things right. And I don't remember having this problem with them before. And I've used them for exactly this kind of thing before. I don't know, man. Let me know if you have problems with this. Let me know if I've complained about this in another video and I just straight up forgot, because I can honestly see that too. Also, I give him bunny slippers because, I mean, not only are bunny slippers adorable, but they also tie back in to the spring of sheep because he's got a bunny friend hiding in his wool. So, for those of you who have never seen one of my videos before, I'm gonna just say I am a fat lady, and I've been thinking about making my own clothes because I'm kind of bored with all the clothes that I have, and I don't feel like buying new ones. And I have like basically a ridiculous room full of fabric that I could use to make clothes. And here's how that conversation always goes. I should make something to wear that's cute. Oh, I should, but I want to lose weight, and if I lose weight, then I won't be able to wear it after I make it, and it won't be all that wasted effort. I'm not having that conversation with myself anymore. When I get back from my trip, I am going to make myself something cute to wear. Even if it's just like a couple of pairs of shorts for the summer, like something. So, here's where we watch Annie struggle once again. Why did I not just wet the paper first? I don't know. I don't know why I do it this way sometimes. I'm just like, I get stubborn and I'm like, nah, I'm doing it this way. I didn't wet the paper first. And so, like, I have to keep constantly moving to make sure that I don't get that weird edge when you let your edge dry out. Like, you get a hard edge and it makes a weird line. And I will say, I am so happy with how this sheep turned out. I suppose I could talk about that too. Like, clearly I just rotated the sheep in the other direction, and he still has his little snail friend on his head, and he still has his little cat friend on his back. And then I made him like a dark colored sheep, and then I gave him a killdeer because I saw one and it made me happy, and so I was like, we're gonna put a killdeer on the sheep. And yeah, like, I think with all of the changes that I made to this, it doesn't feel quite as like, oh, I just copied what I already had done. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Like, did I cheat? Did I not cheat? I don't feel like I cheated. Anyways, but look at how nice those, all the little cauliflowery things turned out in the sheep's wool. I love how they turned out. And here I am with my colored pencil again, fighting the good fight. It, like, I get anxious watching now because I'm like waiting for it to break, and I don't know if it does again. I can't remember, but it still makes me anxious just watching it. Yeah, and so then I went in with some acrylic gouache. Nope, just regular gouache. I went in with some gouache and made these cute little red flowers. And again, I'm very happy with how this little sheepy guy turned out. And he is destined to be a sticker too. Like I said, 2 stickers and a print. That's what I was aiming for. And so, I don't know. Let me know also if when you make sets of things, how you make them. Like what you do to like think of how you want them to set together, since that's what sets are supposed to do. So here's my sheep of spring, and then the little mini print that I do of it. And I think the mini print turned out great. It is a little bit more yellow, but I think I might have done that on purpose because sometimes I don't like bluegrass. And there's my sleepy gnome and my dark colored sheep. I'd say a black sheep, but I don't know. She doesn't look like a black sheep. And I also made her more red in the sticker too. And I think I like how these stickers turned out. That makes me happy. And yeah, we're at the end of the video. Hoping to get another video out soon. Let me know what you think of whatever. Let me know what you think of whatever you feel like telling me about in the comments. I haven't heard from you guys for a while because I've not been posting. All right, see you guys soon. Bye.